Welcome to Madrid Reviews. This is your host, Christian Madrid, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about one battle after another. Let's get to it now, yo. Alright, y'all, let's get into this. So, wow, one battle after another blew me away, as this movie is a modern classic, a modern masterpiece, whatever you want to call it. For sure, my favorite movie of the year so far, and it's hard to imagine anything topping this film. Paul Thomas Anderson is easily one of my favorite directors. Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, The Master, Punch Drunk Love, Magnolia, Licorice Pizza. He's made so much great movies. And this movie just might be one of his best as well, along with those films. I think I still like Boogie Nights better, but one battle after another. He did an amazing job directing this movie. It's so different from everything else he's directed, in his past, and it's for sure one of his best. The writing is spectacular in this film, as the story is great, in the way it's told. I like it, about a revolutionist whose past life catches up with him when his daughter goes missing and his old enemy resurfaces. It really is one battle after another in this film and in real life, as it feels very relevant to what's happening in the world today. So much shit is happening in the world today. And, I like how this movie just lets you escape. It may not seem like that in the beginning, but as you watch the whole film, it lets you escape, but, it does really connect to what's happening in real life. It feels very relevant, and it's a political film, and it tackles some very relevant and interesting topics and themes, but it never comes off as preachy or trying to tell you, lean you one way or the other. It's its own story, just telling you, most of these characters are not really good people themselves. It's just, people just trying to get by, trying to get through one battle after another. This movie does a great job at blending different genres, as it's an action, comedy, drama, crime, and thriller all in one film. This film has more action than any PTA film, as the action did not disappoint. It's great in this film, and the dialogue is very funny and in a great dark comedic way. It's very funny. Some great one-liners in this film. There's a lot of characters in this film, and they're all great and all make an impact, no matter how short or long they are on the screen. The acting is amazing in this film, easily one of my favorite aspects of this film. There's great performances all around. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's the lead in this film. He gives one of his best performances I've seen in recent years, probably since Wolf of Wall Street. And, his character, it just feels different from most of the characters he's played in his past. I think Leo's one of the best actors, and I think this is one of his best roles he's had in a while. Benicio del Toro, wasn't on screen, a lot, but, he made his scenes count. He did a good job. Also, Regina Hill, she gets a phenomenal performance. She's not on screen the most, but she makes all of her scenes count. And Chase Infante, I think this is one of her first film, or her very first film. She did a tremendous job. I can't wait to see what she does in the future. They all give terrific performances, but the standout performance in this film is Sean Penn, as he steals every single scene he's in. And this might be his best performance I've ever seen him in. This and Mystic River, as I think he should get the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this film. Cinematography is amazing, as it's beautifully shot, has great camera work that makes great use of long takes, wide shots, and close-ups. Production design adds a sense of realism to the film, as the actual set pieces and locations used in this film are great. The score is terrific, as Johnny Greenwood composes one of his best scores ever. That brings intensity and emotion along with the sound effects to this film. The editing is fantastic, as it's a long movie. This movie is almost 3 hours long, but it doesn't feel long at all. It's very well paced, not slow at all. The runtime is justified. It's great use of every single scene to fully flesh out the story and characters. Overall, one battle after another is a phenomenal film. One of my favorite films of the decade, not only the year, and I highly recommend watching this film on the biggest screen possible, especially in IMAX, so check it out. Once Oscar season comes, it's going to be one Oscar after another. I'm telling you, I think it's going to win picture, director for PTA. Hopefully he gets his first, Oscar as a director. Probably gets screenwriting too. I hope it does. I think Sean Penn wins Best Supporting Actor. Also, I think the score wins for the Oscar, and I think even cinematography, it might be tough because it is going to probably go against Sinners. That's a tough one. What cinematography is better? Both are very well shot. But anyways, one battle after another is amazing. I'm giving this film an A+. We're eating the best kind of food out here, 5-course meal type shit. Alright, y'all, so that's the end of the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment on whether you have seen this movie or excited to see it. And if you've seen it, Let me know your thoughts. What's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie? Mine's either this one or Boogie Nights. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and alert to know when I drop a new review. Appreciate you all for watching. See you on the next one. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, whatever time you watch this. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch me talk about movies. Thank you. Bye-bye. Gotta get to work.